Ketepu, assalamu alaikum, namaste, haru nefer. This is Qesankh Keperu with another exciting video. And in this video, we're going to introduce a very talented woman by the name of Erika Smith. She's an actress, and we're going to talk to her about her career in the industry. But before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. And if you're interested in knowing more about my spiritual teachings, you can scroll down below, hit the like button, scroll down below, hit the links, and download the ebooks, start reading them right away. And it'll take you, like I said, a little bit more into my spiritual teachings. But if that is not enough and you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. You can cancel at any time. No obligation. You'll get instructional videos on the esoteric, videos on how to meditate, proper breathing exercises, videos on hypnosis, self-hypnosis, so that you can learn to stop overeating, go to the gym, stop smoking, get rid of all those bad negative habits. And then there are videos that teach you how to connect with the ancestors, and more. If you become an Osirian supporter at that level, you will get access to free oracle readings to help you and guide you through life. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends, and we can get the revolution started. All right, Haroon Nefer, how's everyone doing? I had a great video, and you should watch that the last time we talked about morality. And really, one of the things that's important about understanding that we're a society that's heading away from morality. We're a society that's being pushed toward Satanism. And it's done in increments. So we just have to be very mindful of what's going on. And one of the things that we can use as a tool to help us is the oracles, because they communicate directly with the divine, the Akashic records. And by using the oracles, we can make sure that we're on the straight and narrow path, that we are working toward becoming Osir, working toward being spiritual beings. And one of the areas that these oracles can help us with is with our careers, understanding that what we're supposed to do and what we're not supposed to do. All right. So with that said, I want to talk a little bit about what I have done in the past in terms of helping people with their careers. I have the 6-figure PM where you can become a project manager and make 6 figures. But I used to work with actors and helping guide them in their careers, and filmmakers as well. And one of the instruments and tools that we use was oracles. Because you know what? Just because you have an inclination that you want to be an actor, you want to be a comedian, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right field for you. So that's why we go to the oracles, and the oracles can direct us in the right direction. When I first got into spirituality, and especially the Kemetic spiritual system, I didn't like anything about Egypt or Kemet. It wasn't something I was interested in, but the oracles were saying, no, you need to study this. You need to study this. You'll like it. And after about 6 months, we started to, or I should say, I started to warm up to it. And then after about a year, I was like, I love this. I'm passionate about history and Kemet and the whole nature. So that's very important. And many people that I find, especially in the arts, they just because they have this passion and burning desire within them, they want to just jump right into it. But I say, let's pause on that. And this is with anything. It's not just acting. It could be screenwriting, could be whatever, producing, or it could be you in the IT field, or if you're studying psychology. Do the readings first to see if this is meant for you, if this is going to work out for you. Today we have it to where a lot of colleges are trying to upsell people. What they want to do is um, people to get people in debt, and so that they go for these degrees. And when people graduate, they find out they didn't need those degrees, or they can't get a job. And the Oracle would have told you that. All right, enough said. I am done talking. I want to introduce to you this extraordinary woman who's taken some time out of her schedule. She's in LA, and I want to talk to her about her career in acting. So let me bring her on, Erika Smith. Hi, Erika.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thank you for taking the opportunity to sit down and share your experience and just talk a little to my users, or I should say viewers.
Okay.
So, you know what? I have gone through your resume, your reel, and I interview a lot of actors, but I really liked your work. It resonated with me. And I was like, wow, this is great. I've got to talk to Erika. Tell us about you. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, let's see. I've always loved film and theater and music since I was a little kid, and I knew it was what I wanted to do ever since I was probably about 6 years old, believe it or not.
Right.
And I've always loved old movies. I've been always really attracted to the history of film and music, and so I've studied that, and I went to school for music, and I studied opera and jazz. And like you were just talking about college, while I was trying to figure out my jewelry with half an ear. But I think that's interesting what you said, because in a way I feel like our culture pushes us toward getting that higher education. And I in some ways think that if I had just went straight into my career, I might have it might have been easier for me starting younger. But I don't regret the education that I got in music, and I still use it to this day. So yeah, I moved to New York at a really young age. I'm from a very small town, and I felt very bored there. I wanted to get out and see the world, and I think I needed that drama, an excitement, which I realize now that's part of what draws me to this kind of work, being an actor and getting to live all kinds of different lives and with the characters that I play. So I came to New York, and I'm reminded of some song lyrics that I was just working on. Actually, I do Marilyn Monroe. I don't know if you saw that, but
I did. That's awesome. I saw that.
And one of her songs, she goes, I came to New York and found that men are the same way everywhere. But that wasn't my point. My point was that it was excitement that I wanted and excitement that I got. I got an education in everything, and it was great. And I spent many years there, and now I live in Los Angeles.
What made you want to be an actor? How did you get the acting bug?
I don't know. I just remember when I was 6 years old, I was reading the autobiography of this actress in the 1920s. Her name was Mary Astor. She was also in The Maltese Falcon. She was a silent film actress, and she had a really long career of 60 years. And I remember at 6 years old reading that, and I remember sitting at the doctor's office, the pediatrician, and he said to me, he saw that book, and he goes, "There's a place for you in that business too." And I thought, how does he know that that's what I want to do? Well, duh, you see a 6-year-old reading that. Of course you're going to say that.
Yeah. Tell us about working in the industry. Like, how's your experience been? Because, especially for a woman, it could be some difficulties, some challenges. So tell us about how's the industry treating you?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of your question? I spaced out.
Oh, yeah, I was saying, okay. So we'll put it this way. As a woman in the industry, how is the industry treating you? I've heard a lot of women talk about moving to LA. Some had really good stories. Others had horror stories. So how's the industry been for you?
Okay, that's where I thought you were going with that question. And I think I spaced out because I was like, oh shit, how do I answer this? Well, it's been completely insane. It's been really, really difficult. I was just talking to a colleague about this today, that it's hard to navigate because I have this passion and this drive, like you were talking about, when it's in you to be an artist, it's just something that you can't deny, and you will just sacrifice everything. So being a woman in this business is hard because people will dangle your dreams in front of you to get what they want. And because because you want them so bad, it's so hard to see, how to navigate things like that and to see through it and know how to protect yourself. It can be very, very hard. And it's really helpful to have mentors and friends with more experience that can help guide you. And I've been fortunate to make some really good connections and with colleagues that have my best interests at heart. So for a young girl starting out in this, really let your parents protect you and listen to them. And don't get swept away in fantasies and promises and stuff. Make sure that you are always, keep your mind on the facts and the jobs and staying professional.
Do you think nowadays things have changed in the industry? It used to be very, very more close-knit. Now it's a little bit more open. We have these peripheral platforms like YouTube where you can just become a big influencer or YouTube star. Do you find that now getting work, is it easier if you have an agent, or you can still get a lot of work on your own?
That's an interesting question. I'm fascinated with the different with the evolution of the different mediums of entertainment. So I love how this started out in theater, and then with the invention of motion pictures and television, and now it's gone to social media, and the gatekeepers are gone. You can literally put the camera on yourself and do a TikTok dance and have millions of fans and be a star. And I think that is great. And I think eventually agents and managers are very useful because, once again, they're there to protect you. And as an artist, often you don't always, not all, but a lot of artists don't really think about business. They just, I'll speak for myself. I don't really think about money. I'm thinking about the art. So it's good to have someone to protect you and make those deals, because often they'll have that vision in business that you don't have as an artist, that you're more focused on your art. So I think that with the evolving mediums, agents and managers will figure out how to navigate that for their clients. I think agents and managers are a good thing, for sure.
Who's your inspiration? Like, one of the actors that I really love is Charlize Theron. Is Marilyn Monroe your inspiration, or?
That's interesting. I was familiar with her work as a kid. Like I said, I loved all classic movies, but I didn't grow up wanting to be Marilyn Monroe. That was something that I fell into later, because people were just like, you should do Marilyn Monroe. Like, this is a job. You have her vibe. You could do it. But I do admire her. I admire her charisma and that just natural it factor that she had, and her talent and her drive, and yeah. And then I love those method actors and from the 70s, like Jack Nicholson and that whole generation of actors. And I also love like B movies and like cult movies and silly movies, like this poster behind me. And very inspired by musicals and musicians and stuff as well.
You seem to have a lot of talent in different areas. Where do you want to focus on? Is it acting? Is it music?
I want to focus on both. I'm a double threat, I guess. I just auditioned yesterday for a new pilot that would be a singing and acting role. So that would be an ideal role, something that incorporates both. But yeah, I love writing music. Like I was telling you earlier, I'm working on an album right now. So ideally, my career would have a combination of both things, acting and music.
Do you remember the old days when we had the the big studio system, and they produced lots of musicals, which we don't anymore? You know, those days are gone. But it was like, you know, but I think Bollywood now they focus a lot on musicals. You know, so they got a big thriving industry out there. So do you sing and dance? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. All right. What kind of dance is it?
Well, dancing is like I said, I call myself a double threat. I would not include dancing as one of my threatening talents. But what kind of dance? Like, I'm working on some choreography now for a live performance that's like, it's like Britney Spears, Madonna sort of choreography. So what would you call that?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Modern, not modern as in like, I don't know, just pop dancing or pop.
What did you think of Madonna? What do you think of her?
What do I think of Madonna?
Yeah, because she liked Marilyn Monroe too, you know, so she was.
Yeah. Well, I think she's an innovator. I think she is bold and ballsy, and I think people underestimate her. I think she's also very like, I think she doesn't bother to sugarcoat her. She's ahead of her time. And I think that bothers people. And I think people also underestimate that special it factor that it takes to get to the top, you know, because they say that she's not that great of a singer or whatever. Okay, then what made her super famous then? Tell me, because for some reason people love to watch her, and her music is catchy as hell. I had her Immaculate Collection when I was 7 years old, and I was obsessed. So there's something there. And I remember my mother, we had MTV, and my mother canceled MTV because she saw the music video for Cherish. And I am not alone in that. Many of my girlfriends have the same story, that when they were kids, they loved Madonna and their moms were like, no, but it was too late. And I think Britney Spears had that same effect on her generation, because it's just that blatant sexuality that girls are attracted to, because it gets attention, and it's powerful, which is Madonna's message. And I think that is very threatening to people.
You know what didn't work out for her was Avita, the film. She really tried hard with that film, but it kind of bombed at the box office. Mm-hmm. And it was a musical throughout. I don't think there was any acting, you know what I mean? So I think part of the reason they do that is because sometimes she's not that great of an actress, you know. And people have made some. She did Dick Tracy. This is going way back, and her acting was great.
I saw those films. I think that she acting is interesting because the role of Avita, I think, perfectly suits Madonna's personality. Because if you think about that character of Eva Perón, she was ambitious, she rose to the top, she had that sensuality, and she was driven. And in that sense, it really suits Madonna. But there's that extra component, like you're saying, that you also have to be a good actor. Like, being an actor doesn't mean that you have to play parts that exactly fit your same personality, you know? In fact, sometimes the most famous roles, the actors that are playing them are completely different from those characters.
Well, you know what I'd like to do right now is take a look at your reel. I loved your reel. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Because I see a lot of reels all the time. Some are pretty bad, some are pretty good, but your reel is nice and professional. Do you want to set it up, talk a little bit about it before we go right into it?
I'm trying to remember which reel I sent you because I have several. I think I sent you my drama reel, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it just has some clips from some of the more serious roles that I've done. You were mentioning comedy. I've actually done more work in comedy. It was challenging to put together my drama reel. I had to include some of my comedic, technically comedic projects in it because I don't have as many dramatic roles. But I love doing drama, and so I don't know what else you want me to set up.
Right, let's take a look at it, shall we? It's okay. Let's see if I can share my screen. There we go. All right, and let's take a look.
Rico, and you should be on your tippy toes tonight. You need your instincts to be sharper than ever.
Anything specific you need me to be on the lookout for, aside from the norm?
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Hey, can I ask you, how came to be here?
Well, things are really messed up at home, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I left, and I had nowhere to go. And then I met Chuck, and he saved me.
Chuck saved you?
Yeah, I owe him.
And nobody has even heard of Dave Marks.
Oh, I know Dave Marks. He just left.
Where did he go?
He was going to do the Whiplash show at UCB.
Well, let's go.
Thanks, Amanda.
But it's actually Nancy. I just go by Amanda when weirdos talk to me after my show.
Oh.
He offered me the advertising job.
I handled the advertising job.
Oh. Okay.
I am done with you, Bill, you fucking freak! You're a freak!
Let's talk this out.
I gotta do something. I can't.
What? Call the police? Please, let's go home and work this out.
No.
Can I take these gloves off?
It's the intel of 4 South African assassins trained in Russia and used to eliminate African political leaders and activists so that the CIA could get control of the governments there and their commodities.
What does that have to do with anything?
After the assassins completed their missions, they were eliminated in cold blood, but one assassin survived undetected.
Is that the same one tried to kill me today?
No, Rogue. The last remaining assassin is you.
You're so bad. No. I don't want to come second to anybody.
All right, that was awesome.
Thank you.
You know, you know, here's the thing, right? Let me just give you like some insight into producing and directing. Is that a lot of actors in the independent industry just aren't good. You know, they don't really. Everybody wants to be a star, but they don't want to practice on their craft. I think you're very good. I think it comes natural to you, which is like awesome. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, I studied. I took class. I went to school for it, and I worked really hard on my technique. And then at a certain point, like you're saying, it feels more like it comes natural after you've worked on it for so long. It's just, I guess it all just becomes more internal. But thank you. Yeah.
And you know what else? You know, one of the guys I really like, is not a great actor, but he's super famous, Arnold Schwarzenegger. When you see him like go on the PR circuit, you know, when he's promoting his films, you can see that he's very excited. It's genuine, and he's enjoying what he's doing. You know, and I think I can see that in you when you're doing the role. It seems like you're not just acting, but you know, we know it's a film, but it seems like you really enjoy it, getting into the character and everything like that.
I do, and watching my reel, it's like I don't even. That's not me. That's not me on that reel. Like I'm watching it as an audience. I'm just like, I don't know. It's weird to me. That's not me.
Great. All right. So what I'd like to do now, because I know that you don't have a lot of time, you're very busy.
I can go until 7.
Oh, you can go to 7. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. What I'd like to do now is do an oracle reading on your career and where it's headed and what you need to focus on. But give us some insight. What are your goals? What are you looking to do? Are you going to focus on film, or what does Erika want to do and achieve?
I would love to get on a TV show, like on a streaming show. I think there is a lot of really exciting, creative stuff going on right now. So I would say like a musical television show would be my dream. Something with a lot of drama and comedy and by drama I mean like excitement, you know what I mean? And then I would love to continue working on my original music. So a combination of those two things.
Great. Now I take it you're not originally from LA, right? No one's originally from LA, right?
No, I am from a very small town in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. That's great. And when did you you said you moved to New York, was it? Or
I moved to New York when I was 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I started my career there, and then I was kind of back and forth for a while, and between New York and Los Angeles, and then I finally settled in Los Angeles.
Oh, great, great. What are you working on now?
I created a TV series, a musical television series, like I'm talking about. I created my own thing for my dream, and I'm pitching that around, and I'm working on an album.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. We have a question from one of the viewers, and they're asking if you were in The Irishman.
Yes, I was in The Irishman.
Oh, you were. Oh, okay. Tell us about that. Tell us.
I was in the scene of the Teamsters rally. I was in that scene. So there were like the dancing girls, and I was playing a mobster's girlfriend, I guess.
I haven't seen that film. Now I gotta check it out. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad he caught that. That is awesome. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's go into this and just kind of see like what the Oracle has to say about your career. The question I'm going to ask is, what do you need to focus on in order to be a success in this industry? And I'll just say, do you want to focus on the film industry, or just singing? How do we narrow it down? What would you like to focus on for the reading?
I find it so hard to focus because I do like a combination of things.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, like I say, I love performing live, and I love doing film and television, and so I don't know.
You know what? I'll just say for your overall career in the industry. Let's see what it says. All right. Okay. So here we go. What does Erika need to focus on in order to have a successful career in the industry? And the first thing that you got is Haruka Huti Hetep. Oh my goodness. So let me give you some insight. Haruka Huti, you see a lot of red fire, right? So Haruka Huti is a warrior, but he is a warrior that enforces justice. Now, here's this Haruka Huti's kind of like motto, and I love this. It says, Haruka Huti makes a way where there is no way. Haruka Huti reading talks about that you have to have let's say passion, drive, and you've got to push your way in there. So again, he's a warrior. He doesn't take like no for an answer. He's not he's not opposed to hard work. In fact, Haruka Huti loves hard work, so this is talking more about really going for it, pushing your way in there, and being all about that. You know what I mean? So that has to be your focus, your drive. And one of the things you'll see with Haruka Huti is the head of a hawk. So what that is saying is a hawk is really could be when it's sailing down to attack its prey, it's very narrowly focused. So it's saying that you have to be like laser focused on the career and go for this with your all, your passion, your all, and that will ensure your overall success. So keep that in mind, and I think that you have like this really great bubbly, optimistic attitude, and that'll keep you going, because I've seen a lot of actors, and one rejection or two rejections and they're ready to throw in the towel. I'm like, Jesus, you just started out. Why are you like taking everything so personal? And I always talk to them about being optimistic, about being lighthearted. That's the goddess mod, being lighthearted, because you can't take anything personal, because you're going to go for a role. You're always too short, too tall, too blonde, too white, too black. And you just feel like, oh, I'll never make it. And we have to remember that a lot of people in this industry, if we look at Sam Jackson, people don't realize that he's been in the industry playing bit roles for years before he got his break in Jungle Fever. And now he's like one of the top paid in the industry. So it may take some time, you know what I mean? Yeah. But also Haruka Huti talks about, because he's very entrepreneurial, he talks about like creating your own opportunities, like not waiting for something to be presented to you. You know what I mean? It's going to be a situation where you're going to have to go in there and work. Like what about, I have a friend in the business. He said, become self-actualized, like really just create opportunities for yourself, not waiting for people to hand you things. And if you are like, if there's an opportunity, not being afraid to drop everything to go for that opportunity, because some people get nervous. There was a story, it was funny, about Married with Children. That's an old show. And there's a character on that show, is a young kid, and he liked Al. Al was his inspiration. And I forgot the actor's name, but he told a story about how he had an opportunity to go for a feature film, or go for a feature film. But the producer of Married with Children would not give him the day off to go audition. And the producer told him, listen, if you take a day off to go audition for that film, don't bother coming back. So he dropped everything and went for that audition for that film. Didn't get the film, but he also lost his role. So I know I'm Married with Children. And it doesn't sound like a great story, but it's life is about taking chances. So Haruka Huti takes chances, and that's what the Oracle is advising you on.
Take chances, stay focused, create my own opportunities.
Yeah, and go for it with your all. Really, really try and push through things. Don't let doors close on you. Push through things. You know what I mean? What's your sign, by the way?
Taurus.
Oh, you've got that energy. You've got that energy. Yeah, Taurus is like, yeah.
Stubborn.
Yeah. And you know what? You never did tell me who was your favorite actress. You didn't say anything, or favorite actor.
Well, my favorite actor maybe is Jack Nicholson. And my favorite actress, I'm going to go with Vivian Lee.
Okay.
From Gone with the Wind. She really inspired me. That movie inspired me.
Oh.
I know it's not PC anymore, but as a little kid, I didn't see that side of it. I loved the glamour, and I also loved the because I had read the book, so I love how it brought the book to life. I thought it was just amazing. I love that role too. She was like the original diva, like bitch that you just want to be, you know, like she was beautiful. Everybody wanted her. I just wanted to be her.
What is the best role for you? Like, what would be the ideal role to play? You know what I mean?
I think a role like that. I think a role that embraces the dark sides of our personalities that we want to that we feel ashamed about sometimes. A role that like just would allow me to lean into that. A role that would allow me to like be catty and selfish and power hungry and bitchy and attention, you know, hungry. I think a role like that, a total diva, would be my dream role.
Oh, okay. All right. Can you give us an example of a film where you've seen that before, or?
Well, the character from that long-running soap opera that I was named after, Erika Kane, would be a character like that. I was named for her.
Oh.
And Scarlett O'Hara, like I just mentioned, from Gone with the Wind. And let me think, what other movie would a huge bitch like that? I don't know. Let me think there. But those are two examples.
How about The Devil Wears Prada?
Yes, The Devil Wears Prada. A role like Meryl Streep had in that. Yeah.
So, you know, and just wrapping this up, I'd like to get your opinion on where the industry is headed. We know with, you know, the pandemic and everything, things have slowed down in Hollywood a bit. So where do you think things are headed in the industry? Because, you know, there's this whole new drive now to push female characters to the forefront. And so you're seeing a lot more of strong female roles. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? What are your thoughts on that?
How could it be a bad thing? I think it's a great thing. I think I also am happy to see like a lot of roles for older women, middle-aged women, because, you know, I think the industry is finally waking up to see that there is an audience for that. People want to see themselves. They want to watch themselves. They want to watch characters that they can relate to. So I love that. I think that the industry is also opening up to like be more inclusive of all different races and you know, different genders and all of that. I love that. We're seeing those stories. So yeah, I think just like us, we are opening up more. The industry is reflecting that.
Okay. Now, if you could give advice to a young woman looking to break into acting, what would you say to her?
I would say, that's such a hard question. Oh my God. Part of me wants to say, don't do it. I would say that you've got to stay focused on the work. You've got to really have a love for your craft and work really hard at that, and don't try to be like everybody else, and don't get caught up in the shallow aspects of the industry, and really just focus on the craft of it and be professional. There are no shortcuts. There are absolutely no shortcuts. And if it seems too good to be true, it is. So, and don't take meetings at 3 a.m. in hotel rooms.
Yes.
And really try to create relationships with your colleagues, like friendships and people older than you that you can ask for advice and have mentors and things like that. That's very useful.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And
So
treat it like a job. Don't forget your personal life. Don't exclude your personal life, because all of that feeds your soul, which is what you need to create art.
well, let me ask you this, and this is probably the big question that everybody starting out, or even some who are veterans of the industry, grapple with.
Mhm.
When you get an opportunity, obviously, if it's an independent film, some pay, some don't pay. What's your thing on that? Do you only do roles that pay, or are you open to negotiation? Like, what's your philosophy on that?
I think at the beginning of your career, especially when you're trying to get material for a reel, you should take those non-paying jobs if you think it's a role that's going to showcase you as an actor that you can use for your reel, or will be a good relationship to have with the producers. I certainly did many years of non-paid film and theater and student films and student projects and stuff. And I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I had COVID, and I think it's like really giving me a brain fog. I swear, I don't. Oh, non-paying stuff.
Yeah.
This was my point. This is where I was going with that. Still, at this point in my career, when you are creating your own projects or doing a passion project with your friends, that's something that I occasionally do for no money, or creating it on spec because it's a project that I think will be a vehicle for myself, or that I'm passionate about, and I think there will be an opportunity with it later. So, but if it's just a, I won't do a job for free if I'm not like really passionate about it.
Are you SAG?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, how can if somebody's looking to work with you, how can they reach you? You have a website?
They can reach me on social media at the Erika Smith, on Instagram and Twitter, and I am on IMDb. My contact information is there with my agencies and stuff like that. It's always best to reach out to my agent. He communicates with me and about inquiries and stuff like that. So yeah.
Awesome. The Wandering Sage says, "Who is this pretty woman?" So, Erika, I want to thank you for taking the time here to talk with us and give us some advice on the industry. And as I told you before, we're doing a feature this fall. I'd love to have you read for that. You're extraordinarily talented. And it's been a pleasure talking with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the big screen.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was a wonderful interview with Erika Smith, actress, or I guess we use the term actor now for everything. So I want to thank everyone for taking time to watch this, and I hope you find the information valuable. I'd love to, one of the things I'd love to do is just talk to different people in the industry so you can pass on their wisdom and knowledge so that you don't have to make the same mistake as others. And that's very important to as Erika was kind of alluding to, form those relationships, and find out the do's and the don'ts. So you don't get yourself into any type of trouble. Also, if you get an opportunity, please donate to the channel, and don't forget to hit the like button. Show your love by hitting the like button. So this is Qesankh Ma'at Keperu, son of Ma'at and Tahuti. Ma'at is a beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, Amen Ra.